Today's close is not an ordinary close. It's a pivotal close in the financial markets. It's being the 30th day of September, and as well as the last day of September. It coincides with the close of the trading week as well as the closing month. Welcome again to Crypto Reality. It's your boy Pedro again, and I'll be giving you a brief around what's happening in the financial markets. I'll be starting off with how DXY has behaved within the past couple of weeks. I'll also be talking about how the markets, what is the likely scenario for Bitcoin. I'll be giving you an overview of how the entire financial market is behaving, and then try to show you a picture of what is obtainable in the Bitcoin market. What's happening in the Bitcoin market is currently beyond just Bitcoin and cryptos, and I would also talk a little bit about what I feel is a potential search for the downtrend bottom, and why I think around that region. I'll also talk about how the volume profile of Bitcoin for the month of September, and then also what is obtainable from the stock market. So first of all, I'll be looking at the DXY, and then it's been massively bullish as usual. The Fed fund rate has been favored the DXY once again. The Fed meeting, which held on 20th and 21st of this month, just over a week ago, we had an increase in the Fed fund rate, and that was bullish, that was dovish news, and that means bullish for the US dollar and bearish for the crypto, for the rest of the market. So the markets have responded in like manner, and then you can see that DXY from the weekly time frame has been massively bullish, as well as the monthly time frame. The big time frames have shown a massive bullish momentum candlestick formation. As it stands now, we're currently seeing what seems to be like a retracement or a sell-off from the DXY. So it's currently losing strength as things stand, and then markets are beginning to capitalize. But it's very important to take a look at how the Bitcoin market has responded during this period. In as much as majority of the market have been calling for 10k Bitcoin, which can still be very possible given the fact that we're in a very mature downtrend. But you need to look closely at what the price action is currently saying. Bitcoin seems to be very stable and relaxed in spite of all the massive pressure and the massive strength from the DXY. And you could see that in as much as DXY has been very, very strong of late, the Bitcoin has basically just been in a very choppy state. We're still very much in this safe box. We talked about this safe combination box that we'll be talking about, we've been using, that we've been dealing with during this period of consolidation. We've been in this consolidation. This box has been very, very much intact since June till date, and Bitcoin has still very much maintained its position within this box. And we can see that I would like to point that in as much as we're in a very matured, confirmed downtrend, it's very important to note that Bitcoin is still very much trying to maintain its position on a consolidatory level. It is important to point that in as much as 10k is still very possible, given that we're in a very mature downtrend. it's also very important to note that the market is stuck in a consolidatory state, and this can it's already an extended period of consolidation from the market, and this can go on as long as possible, and this is the market can remain in this state of consolidation for a very long time. Remember, we've agreed in the past that markets experience a ranges or consolidation majority of the times. Over 70% of times markets are stuck in consolidations than they are trending, so the market can remain in this period of consolidation, and that means that the possibility for us to still maintain a 17.6k low during the period of this downtrend is still very, very possible. And I'll be referring, and I'm going to be making reference to the last major downtrend between 2017, late 2017 and late 2020, which was the last downtrend, which took about 20 years. You can see very clearly here that the downtrend, despite it being a downtrend, Bitcoin was stuck in a period of consolidation between February 2018 and a very sideways market, and November 2018. That was a massive period of 9 months of consolidation. I mean, during this period, Bitcoin never really closed the month or week below the low, which came at around 6,000 USDT. Bitcoin maintained that low. There was really no downtrend per se, or uptrend during this period, a massive period of 9 months, and Bitcoin maintained this low of 6k for 9 months until it broke out of that consolidation in November, and we formed a new low back in December, which seemed to be like the low, the lowest point during the course of this downtrend. For the entire 3 years or so, we had a low point of 3156, which represented about an 84% loss from the all-time high of 19798. And in as much as 10k is still very possible, as virtually everyone is talking about, I would like to point to the fact that there's still a very good chance that the current 17.6k could still be a low, a potential low for this downtrend, or something we may likely see something a bit slightly lower than that, but maybe not down to 10k, maybe something around 17k, or maybe 16k, maybe 15. But I still doubt if the market would try to get to 10k, and in as much as it is not within my control, I still just want to look at still the possibility of we not seeing a 10k USDT, as virtually everyone is calling in the market. We could see a return to 17k, which is very, very possible, and which is still very much within this safe box, and a return to that point and a bounce could still be very likely. That means if the market fails to close below 17.6k, it simply means that the market is still stuck in a period of consolidation and not a continuation of a downtrend, in as much as the underlying trend is still intact. I'm just saying that the potential low could still be around 17k, but maybe we may likely not see it 10k as virtually everyone is calling in the market. You can currently see that the market is trying to the battle right now for Bitcoin. Since today marks the close of the month for Bitcoin, we're seeing what seems to be like a close back above. We've been below the last cycle high of 19798 for a large part of for the last couple of weeks or so. We've been below that last couple of weeks we've been below that level also, and Bitcoin is yet to close the month below that level. ever since ever since we we returned ever since the cause of this downtrend. So Bitcoin is looking, we're likely seeing what seems to be like a potential close back above it for that would continue the trend of not closing the month below that level. And while we still have hours before the close of the month, so far so good. Bitcoin seems to be holding on very well as things stand. So it is a decision point for Bitcoin. It's trying to make that decision as to either close the months below or above that level. That level comes at around 19798 to be precise. We're seeing 20k, over 20k from Bitcoin as things stand, and that seems to be a very similar situation with the stocks market. And you know very well that the stocks and the cryptos have a very similar price action. They've been moving together very well in the last couple of in fact for the entirety of this year they've been moving very well, moving together. They are both risk assets, and they have been moving in the same, they have a very similar price action. You can see that the battle is around closing below this level, coming at around 36 for the stocks, which was a low which commenced the start of the same 18 June when Bitcoin commenced this downtrend. Is the same time stocks commenced its own as well. The low for that day was 36, and which coincides with the 17.6k for Bitcoin, and the market rallied up from that point, and we're seeing a return to that level. So we're looking at a potential double bottom if the market can hold on at least a daily and weekly and even monthly closing basis. If the market can hold this level, which is the case, seems to be the case today, as since today is a very critical day in the market. The market is trying to the battle is around that level to see if we can close above that level and form what seems to be like a potential double bottom, or a close below that will invalidate any double bottom reversal for trend reversal formation, and that would mean a continuation of the downtrend for the stocks. So right now the battle is close below this level and continue the downtrend, or close above it and form a potential reversal pattern, potential double bottom, which could likely see a rally from the market, from the stocks, if not anything, at least for the interim, which may seem like maybe like a relief rally for the stocks. So that means a decision. The stocks are at a very critical junction in the market, and I would also like to show you what the Bitcoin market is doing from a volume perspective, from a monthly volume perspective. We're still seeing increasing volumes from the bigger time frames, the weekly and the monthly, continuous increase in volume, and the candlesticks do not seem not to align with the amount of volume that is being put up in the market. We're seeing the highest traded volume ever in the history of Bitcoin this period of consolidation, and it is you should expect that with this amount of volume being traded in the crypto market, given that we are in a proper and well-established downtrend, this should send Bitcoin to abyss, but on the other hand, we're seeing a volume divergence from the market. With this huge amount of volume, we're already seeing close to 10 million Bitcoins traded only in September, which is a massive close to 40 something percent increase from last month's all-time high of 5.692 million. So with this amount of volume, you should expect Bitcoin to be sent to abyss. But unfortunately, we're seeing what seems to be like a potential doji formation from Bitcoin. This is massive stable response from Bitcoin, given the massive performance of the US dollar of late, the massive bullish performance of the US dollar of late, the massive pressure on Bitcoin, the massive fundamentals against the Bitcoin, and the massive given that the trend and everything is going against the Bitcoin at the moment. With this amount of volume, given the price action, given the sideways price action and the nature of the candlestick formation, which is a doji, it means a likely sign of a potential sign of exhaustion and indecision from the market. So this is a good sign for, and likely sign of a potential sign of hope that Bitcoin can still bounce from this. And if that is the case, 17.6 may still, at least for now, be the likely low for this market, for this downtrend market. And I'm not saying the trend is going to reverse, but at least the consolidation may still be continue for further extended may still continue on extended period, further extended period as things stand. The market may still continue consolidating, but the downtrend for now may not continue as things stand, given this massive close from the biggest time frame, which is the monthly time frame. The massive doji has been formed from this massive volume that is being put in the market shows you clearly that even the bears are very well exhausted as things stand. And in as much as this is not to be seen as weakness, but as things stand for now, the market seems to be safe. We're still in the safe box. The bearish divergence, the volume divergence is a clear indication that the market is in an exhaustive and highly indecisive state. The bears are highly exhaustive and the market is very indecisive, and we may continue to consolidate as things stand from the market, and 10K, as virtually everyone is calling for, may not just come just yet. And you can also see that we have a steeper and more pronounced swing from the monthly time frame perspective in this downtrend, as opposed to the last downtrend where we seem to be we just looked sideways for the entirety of the downtrend. There was no well pronounced swing from the big time frame perspective. So that means the entirety of the downtrend for almost 3 years was mainly characterized by a sideways market, rather than a swing low markets. So if we are seeing a very well established and pronounced steep swings from monthly time frame perspective, why should we not expect that the market could just consolidate again, given that we're already having a very well established downtrend even from a big time frame perspective? Why should we not expect that the market can still consolidate and have 17.6 as our potential low and not get to 10K as virtually everyone is expecting it to do? Yes, you expect that market should continue to my point here is that you should expect that okay, market should continue to keep pushing lower to even the 10k or even 5k as virtually everyone is calling. But I'm trying to say that given that we had a 3-year downtrend and the market was basically just in a sideways state for virtually the entirety of those 3 years, it means that if we have a very well steep and established swing from the monthly time frame perspective, which is a very clear indication that we are in a downtrend, then it means that we can still just consolidate. The market can still just consolidate and maintain the current low that it has already established for a very, very long time, which was very, 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 very made possible. So in as much as yes, I agree that yes, the market may still get to 10k, I still want to point out the fact that we can still maintain, be in a downtrend for a very long time, for years, and still maintain a low. It has happened before and it can still happen again. That is just a summary of what I'm saying today. So markets are trying to make a decision, very critical decision. I'm going to be switching over to the gold market as well, and you can see that the market has broken below a very a level that has proven in the past to be a very critical level, a ton of demand, a level that has seen bounces in the past, multiple bounces in the past. In the past couple of years, we've had markets bouncing from this point. It's a level in the market that has a ton of demand, but we finally had a close this year, weekly close, a massive weekly close below that level. So the market is trying to see if it can reclaim back that level as support. So today is also a critical point in the gold market to see if we can reclaim back that point and make it a potential false break, or maintain it as a resistance and then see potential continuation of a downtrend for the gold market as well. So you can see that is the battle for the gold market as well. So that is the summary of today's broadcast. I've taken a whole lot of time already. So the summary of just to recap, we've seen Bitcoin do a search for a potential downtrend bottom so far, and as things stand, 17.6k still seems to still be the case. We're seeing a volume divergence from weekly and monthly time frames from the market. You can see that even from the weekly time frames, we're also seeing massive increase in volume, but the candlestick formations still seem to be little and in a sideways state. That means volume divergence even from the weekly time frame as well. Volume divergence from the biggest time frames, the weekly and the monthly time frames. We're seeing also a decision junction for the stocks, the gold, and other financial markets. Why DXY seems to be forming something that looks like a potential bearish pin bar of this current level, and if this continues to be the case next week, if we see a retracement from the DXY, we should see a little bit of strength. Bitcoin has held its own very well during the course of this rally from the DXY. So thank you very much. I hope you got value from this, and if you did, please let me know in the comment section, and please always remember, as usual, that this is for educational purpose and not to be treated as financial advice. Financial asset trading is a risky affair, so always endeavor to carry out your own research before entering the trade. So do have a lovely weekend ahead, and I wish you a happy new months of October in arrears. Thank you very much. Bye bye.